Hey guys, I wanted to sit down today and do a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. Wanted to do a video on my entire kit, my entire gear kit that I used on my 1,500-mile hike of the Appalachian Trail from Springer Mountain, Georgia to Great Barrington, Massachusetts this year. It was supposed to be a full through hike all the way to Maine. We had some family problems where we had to get off the trail, and it wasn't really feasible for us to finish the trail this year. I miss it every single day, wish I was still out there. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to make this video where I kind of take my pack and really break it down and show you the gear that that I didn't necessarily start with, because I started with some colder weather gear, but what I finished with. First off, the pack that I used was the Osprey, whatever, if you're from the East Coast or West Coast. They said Osprey on the East Coast a lot, they say Osprey over here on the West Coast a lot. So let's go with Osprey. I'm on the West Coast. The Osprey Atmos 65. To me, this is the Cadillac of packs. Definitely the Cadillac of packs for doing a through hike. This pack had everything I needed. It had plenty of room. Again, 65 liters. Tons of great features. I won't dive too much into this pack in particular. I know there are a ton of reviews out there on this pack. And I know recently they switched over to the anti-gravity system, which this one's not. This is one of the original Atmos 65s with the regular airscape on the back. So it doesn't have that anti-gravity system that a lot of people are going to now. But this pack for me, my base weight without food or water, without my trekking poles or the clothes I was wearing every day, was right at 16.5 pounds. So 16.5 pounds for my entire base weight of my pack. That's everything I was carrying on my back pretty much, except for, again, food and water. So yeah, let's open her up, let's break it down, and I'll show you what I used and show you what worked for me. Alright guys, so here it is. This is everything that I used on my hike this year on the AT, all laid out here. So let's go ahead and get into some of the gear. First off, the big three. Use the big Agnes copper Spur UL2. That would be the tent, the fly, and the poles. If you watched in one of my previous videos where I broke that tent down, Snuggles actually carried the footprint, so I carried all of that. Next, what I ended up using as the months got warmer, again in another previous video, that's the Mount Hardware Ultra Lamina 45, and that's in a Zpacks Cuben fiber stuff bag. I pretty much used Zpacks for all of my stuff sacks. Great, lightweight, waterproof bags. Yeah, really love their stuff. So next was the pad that I used. Used the Therm-a-Rest NeoAir Xlite. Excellent pad. It's not the pad that I started out with. I actually started out with a big Agnes Q-Core, but it wasn't really cutting it for me, so I switched to this guy. Next up was something that a lot of people kind of argued about in the beginning, if it was necessary or not. I ended up loving it and using it all the time. This is my Therm-a-Rest Z-Seat. It was great, and whenever, you know, the end of a day, you're done hiking, the last thing you want to do is sit down on something wet and cold. This was great to sit down on a log or a rock, sit down on a picnic bench or a shelter, and sit on. It was also good for multiple things. Used it to start fires, to get some wind on a fire, and also used it as a windscreen every once in a while. If it was really windy, I just kind of put it up around my stove, and yeah, it blocked the wind a little bit. So excellent, excellent, excellent to use. This thing really saved me a lot. Next, let's get into electronics. I used the Black Diamond Blaze headlamp. It was perfect for everything that I needed. Had the red light in there, a couple modes on the light. It's not the rechargeable one, it took batteries, but I never really ran out of power anytime that I came into a town and I kind of noticed the light was getting a little bit dead. I switched the batteries. I took the iPhone 4. Had it on airplane mode most of the time, just to save, you know, save on battery. That, and I didn't really want a cell phone out on the trail. In case of emergencies, use the Lifeproof case, which came in handy, of course, with the wetness, especially in Georgia and North Carolina. Used an Ipod Shuffle. Don't have my headphones here, but did have a pair of headphones. It was nice just every once in a while to throw in some music and, you know, entertain myself on those kind of nasty long days. With the charging cable, the iPhone charging cable that I had with the power block that I use for all my other electronics. And towards the end I picked up this power bank. It's a Poweradd, got it off Amazon. It gave me like 3 charges whenever it's full. It doesn't weigh a whole lot. Worked out great. And then its charging cable. So next, let's move up here to my cook system. Again, I have a video showing my cook system, but just to run through it again real quick, I used the SnowPeak 700 mug, titanium mug, and a koozie that I made. The SnowPeak Litemax stove, which was an excellent stove. Again, watch that video kind of breaking down the stove and how it works. I used the Sea to Summit aluminum spork, long handle. Worked out really good for me. This little guy I made at the same time that I made my koozie, and this is made out of a windshield visor, and I'll probably end up doing a nice video on it, but I was able to put rice sides down in it, put boiling water in it, and it's kind of like a little microwave. It helped things cook a little bit faster. I really, really liked this. Again, I'm going to be doing a video on kind of how I cooked my meals on the trail, so watch out for this and I'll explain it a little bit more. SnowPeak's hot lips to save my lips on my hot mug. Carried a Bic Mini lighter. Usually just carried one of them. If it started running low, I was near a gas station or Dollar General, I just pick up a new one. Carried the Gerber mini Paraframe knife. This knife was great for all that I used it for, which was pretty much, you know, string and cheese. Great for both. Never had a situation where I needed a bigger knife. It fit really nicely on the shoulder strap of my pack, and it was there when I needed it. So nice sharp knife, really super lightweight. I think it's like 1.2 ounces or something. Yeah, great knife. Next was, I had a little medical kit. Everybody needs a little medical kit. I just kind of kept some sewing stuff in there. Some ibuprofen, good old vitamin I, some alcohol swabs, moleskin, just kind of the little things that I needed here and there. And then obviously whenever I needed some more, I'd pick it up in a store or in a hiker box. So always good to have some first aid with you. Toothbrush, carried a little toothbrush, some toothpaste, travel toothpaste, Burt's Bees, gotta have Burt's Bees for those chapped lips. Carried a Sharpie and a pen just in case I needed to write anything or mark any of my stuff to make sure it was mine. And I also carried this little Rite in the Rain journal, just a little notepad that I was able to kind of jot some stuff down in, any thoughts I had. Next would be my food bag. I use the Zpacks, I believe it's the Blast food sack. Really nice size food bag. It was really great. I could carry up to about 5 days of food in it. Again, Cuben fiber by Zpacks. Top rolls down, nice waterproof. Their Spectra Z-line cord, about 50 feet of it. And a Cuben fiber rock bag, also from Zpacks. I bought this whole kit. It was like 50 bucks. Excellent kit, very light. Kept my stuff dry. It was a good hanging kit. I highly recommend it. Down here we got a couple little odds and ends. Toilet paper. Have to have the TP. Very important. Also in a plastic bag to make sure it doesn't get wet and ruined. Ben's 100% Deet bug spray. Good for mosquitoes. Somewhat good for ticks. I still got some ticks. Definitely still got some mosquitoes, but it's definitely good stuff. Next would be my water filtration system. I have the Sawyer squeeze, the regular Sawyer squeeze, and about a quarter way into the trail I ended up picking up one of these little adapters here, hooking this tube up to it, and picking up one of these platypus, these 2-liter bags with the quick connect on it, and ended up using a gravity feed system. Definitely like that a lot more than squeezing the bags. Definitely saves some time, a lot easier of a system to use. And had a little bitty cup that I made out of a plastic bottle. Used that to be able to dip water out of really shallow water sources. Really good to have. Next, let's go up here. Bug net was great. I picked it up in Pennsylvania. Mosquitoes get really bad in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, especially Massachusetts. It saved my face a lot of times. So bug net. This would be my Zpacks Cuben fiber rain cover. Really nice size rain cover. Covered my whole pack. Kept it pretty dry for a rain cover. Again, really love Zpacks stuff. Check out their stuff. Up here are the trekking poles that I used. I used the Komperdell Trailmaster Corks. Really held up. Great poles. Didn't have any problems with them. They're the flick lock version. Put some duct tape there. If you know about duct tape on some poles, it's good to have in case you got to fix a quick repair. Fixed a couple holes in my tent with that, and a hole in my jacket. So yeah, duct tape, gotta have it. Next would be my camp shoes. I used the VivoBarefoot camp shoe. I think that the pair comes in at like 2.5 ounces, man. They were great shoes. They were good for walking around town. They were nice and airy. Wear a pair of nice thick socks with them at camp, and they were good camp shoes. Good to get those boots off every once in a while. This is my Marmot Zeus down jacket, 800 fill down jacket, and as you can see, it fits in its nice little pocket. Really love this jacket. I'll probably be doing a separate video review on the jacket, so look out for that. It also doubled as a pillow at night, so I would fold it up, and you can see it's kind of big enough where I would just sleep on it, use it as a pillow. So multifunctional. Next would be my Outdoor Research Helium 2 HD jacket. Again, it folds up in a nice little pocket. It becomes very compact. This thing is excellent. It's one of the best rain jackets I've had. I've had a Marmot Precip. This thing really kept me dry, really nice and lightweight. Next, I had a couple buffs that I used. I have the AT buff here and a regular green buff. Used those for pretty much as a bandana, wiping sweat, picking up a hot pot off of my stove. Used a buff for pretty much everything, man. Buff, love them. Oh yeah, by the way, used smart water bottles for to hold my water. Nice and light, easy, cheap. Carried 2 liters. And then I would just filter right on into the bottle. Anytime these started getting nasty, you could pick these up at $1 General. You could pick them up at a gas station. Easy to replace, cheap, light, good option. So up here I have a Zpacks Cuben fiber clothes bag. And inside my clothes bag I had an extra Dri-fit shirt, an extra pair of shorts, my tights that I held on to pretty much my entire hike. In case it got a little cold, I could pair them with a pair of shorts and turn it to a pair of pants. And a pair of extra socks. So yeah, I'm not really going to open that up, but that's everything that's inside of there. Nice to have those extra dry clothes. These are the boots that I wore. Our shoes. These are the Merrell Moab ventilators. They were excellent for me. I went through 3 pairs in over 1,500 miles. Really nice, lightweight, really airy. When they got wet, they weren't waterproof, but when they did get wet, they dried out really easy. Dirty Girl Gaiters. If you haven't watched my review video on these guys yet, definitely check them out. I really love these gaiters. Nice, lightweight. I went with the Batman print. Pretty sweet. These were the clothes that I wore. So a pair of Mount Hardwear running shorts with the liner inside of them. Nice, lightweight, synthetic, fantastic. I wore a Nike Pro Combat t-shirt, that's the exact same. This one's gray, the one in my bag is orange, so really love these shirts. They're nice, venting on the side, nice dry fit, dries out quick, light, breathable, good shirt. The socks that I went with were Darn Tough. Love Darn Tough socks, had 2 pair of them. They lasted me the entire trail. These things can really take a beating. Darn Tough socks, check them out. Made in Vermont. Wigwam sock liners. I wasn't a big fan of liners at first, and then when I was in North Carolina, somebody suggested that I switch to them, that it would help with blisters. After I switched to them, I didn't get a single blister, so love sock liners. Wore the liners, the Darn Tough on top of them, and then I had a backup pair of both. Really love that system. And then of course, the hat that I wore that I picked up in Virginia from Devil's Backbone Brewery. Really awesome place, really awesome brewery, really awesome beer. Love this hat. Still rock it all the time. I kind of can't go hiking without it. It's definitely my hiking hat. So yeah, so that was everything that I took. Again, my base weight with everything here came in at 16.5 pounds. And then all the stuff that I wore. Fully loaded with about 3 to 4 days of food and 2 liters of water took me up to about 24 to 25 pounds. So I was pretty happy with that. Don't know if I would change a whole lot. I'd probably go with a different sleeping bag yet again. Aside from that, I really love the system that I used. It really helped me out, and it was really good for me. So, hopefully the video helped in you planning for your thru hike or just any backpacking trip. Yeah. So, again, that is what I used on the Appalachian Trail. Leave me some comments, some feedback in the comment area below. Like or dislike my video. Subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching.